everyone, welcome to Samvad 3. Samvad is an interactive dialogue between School of Corporate Innovation and Leadership with the visionary leaders of MIT Edity University. And today we have with us Dr. Mukesh Sharma sir, who was the Additional Director General of Doordarshan as well as the retired Director General of Films Division. And now he is associated with MIT Edity University as Dean of School of Films and Television. Welcome sir for Samvad.
Thank you, Shikha, thank you so much. Tell me.
Yes, sir, basically we would like to know about your professional journey in the Films Division as well as how this has helped you to shape your career.
Okay, it's a long journey. I think I started my career way back in 1980 when I started working with Children's Film Society, and I had a chance to work with the doyens of Indian cinema. People like Dr. V. Shantaram, you may not know, of course he had his own contribution, he was much ahead of his times. Amitabh Bachchan's wife Jaya Bachchan, I worked with her, she was the chairperson of the society. Then I worked with Amol Palekar, he was also a filmmaker and an artist. Shabana Azmi, yes, I worked with her also. So about for 12 years, from 80 to 92, I made a lot of children's cinema, a lot of children's films, won a couple of national awards. I was the first person who did Indo-Mauritius co-production. I went and took the whole team to Mauritius and made the film there. Prior to me, only one film was done, and that too a song was created. I remember that was Southern film, and the song was Mummy Ne Chai To Bulaya. I know if you heard that song.
Right.
Baki to I was there, and then since 92 through UPSC, I got a selection in Doordarshan, and then I was with Doordarshan for nearly, I would say 2017, and in between as you said, I became the Director General of Films Division also. So I had a fairly good, hand on broadcasting as well as filmmaking, because I made film on, I would say, celluloid, 35mm Eastman color.
Oh, okay.
And now of course you are using digital medium, but I have learned all the way. So storytelling has been, a part of my, I would say, part of my DNA.
Right.
Right. So that is one thing which I have always, and about I think four or five national awards I've shook 4 times. My hand with the President of India, I would put it this way.
Oh, that's great.
So
sir.
yeah, so all that has helped me. Now I am actually here sitting and trying to impart whatever I have learned before I leave this world. So these are the things which the basic idea is to motivate children, motivate them, and how they can be successful in their careers. That's the reason that I am sitting here.
Right. And as you rightly mentioned about the storytelling, so we would like to know how important is the creativity and storytelling these things in especially in film career.
See, film is nothing but a storytelling. So if you want to make a good film and if you are a good storyteller, I think you should take this as your career. Because वो कहते हैं हिंदी में कहावत है कि उसके पालने में ही उसके पूत के पैर नज़र आ जाते हैं.
Right.
You can find out कि whether he has the aptitude or he'll be want to do this thing. It has been seen. It depends on the parents how they motivate or mold their kids. But yes, filmmaking is something which is always fascinating, and everyone, because it has got so many shades, so many colors. While you're working with your team, at that time also you feel कि okay, I have to, as a director, if you are there, you have an editor, you have a sound recordist, you have a cameraman, you have so many people at your command and you are trying to give images, moving them and trying to give them some shape so that some story comes out. So storytelling is something, if you have that knack, and actually speaking, if you ask me, storytelling is in everyone's house. I remember when my father used to go for his tours, and when he would come back from the tour, then we would just sit with him and say, okay, so then what happened? Then he would start, okay, then I took this rickshaw from here. At that time we had rickshaw, no taxis. And then I went to the station, then I got a coolie and the coolie gave me this. So he started visualizing it and I started visualizing. And then I got the trick. In fact, I had to run after the train because I was getting late and there was no seat. So half the time I stood there. Then what happened? Then this happened. Then I reached there. Of course, there was a car. So I am narrating the whole thing. So if that storytelling, actually in everybody's house, we all want to know. You come back from a trip from abroad, suppose.
Right.
Your parents want to know, "Ar kya kya raha shikha, wahan kaisa hua?" So that story, but how good at you are visualizing it, how good you are at narrating it, that's where the skill lies.
Correct. So you mean to say storytelling is nothing but the part of our daily routine?
Yes, daily routine. We have been telling stories since day one.
Right.
वेद तो स्टोरी टेलिंग के थ्रू ही आए, किसी ने लिख करके नहीं दिए.
Correct.
That's how.
True, sir. True, true. Very nice. And as you rightly mentioned about the aptitude skills, so what do you think? The life skills are more important, or the aptitude skills are more important, or how these things are interlinked?
See what happened. I will tell you my own story. My father wanted me that I should become a doctor.
Okay.
Now, as usual at that time, either you become a doctor in our times or you become an engineer.
Huh.
Okay, fine. I had taken chemistry, botany and zoology as subjects, so I was studying for it. I tried my best. I appeared twice, and every time, with few marks, I was not able to. And all the time I was telling my father that I don't love cutting that frog, I don't love opening the, the cockroach and all this thing. I'm not comfortable with that. Why should I not do what I like? But at that time, you could not argue with your parents.
Right.
Okay, sir. But somehow, I managed to get the job with Children's Film Society on my own. When I wrote to Dr. V. Shantaram, when they wanted one guy in all India as a producer, and I had some stint with Television Lucknow. And that letter of mine, I do not know whatever it was, it helped me that he called me, and when he discussed with me and he saw that I had that aptitude for storytelling and learning, making films. And I was with Children's Film Society as a class 1 officer at that time, way back in the 80s.
Okay.
So, as I said, this is something which is, if you have that skill, you must try and grow with it. And your parents are the best people who you are with, or your teachers or your peers or your colleagues, who can tell you, kya tumhara. And today, with the world has opened up. So much to do.
Right.
I mean, at this age, believe me, I'm using AI.
Right.
I'm creating AI pictures, I'm creating AI songs, I'm learning, and I'm finding it so fascinating.
Okay.
So, in fact, I mean, people of your age, they are in a much better position than we were. We had at that time no video to look at ki kaisa dikh raha hai. Everything was in the mind. I remember I was making a film for which I got the National Award, Anokha Aspatal. It had some 20 million views. In that film, there was a shot which I want to do, and a boy comes out, and then he suddenly says, and the pigeons were there, they started flying. So he asked the grandmother, come on, why they are flying? He said, you came running, that's why. If you come slowly and throw something to them, they'll come to you. Okay, fine. We did the shot, it was over. But light was coming down, so we said, we'll take the next shot after this.
Okay.
But then they said, it's now, light is not good enough, the cameraman said. So we said, okay. Next time we went to the same locale after a couple of days, and then when I saw, when we started the scene, the assistant came and said, sir, the boy was wearing a blue sweater. I asked the dress person, I said, was he wearing, no sir, he was wearing red. No, I said, but at that time even photographs we haven't had in our hand.
Right.
They had to be sent for, for bath ke liye jao, yahan jao, and then they come out after 3-4 days. So we had nothing to see what he was wearing. Common sense. Okay. Take one shot with blue sweater, take one with red, and let's go ahead. We will do it in the editing, we'll see.
Right.
So what I am saying is, today with so much of tools around for the students, for people, the only thing where they are lacking is they are not reading. They are not going deep, delving into, they are not understanding the thoughts kya hai. So they are not able to write as good as the story. And with your chat GPT and your DeepSeek, all these, you don't write even, you just put it there and it comes out.
Correct.
So my little worry is that if the students, they don't study, they don't read, especially, and if any film which they have to watch, I have always tell them, first watch it and enjoy the film as it is. Then start seeing the technical part. Okay, trolley kaise gaya? How did the camera moved? Why did he edit it like this? Then see it only on technical aspects. And then I said, that's a greater learning. Watching film is a greater learning.
Correct. So, as you rightly mentioned about the AI, so that reminded me about Vishwa Shanti Darshan, the YouTube channel, which is inspired by Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, right? So, could you just let us know a brief about it?
What happened was, I know Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir for now nearly 25 years. We were doing Robocon at that time, and with the robotics, I was in Doordarshan, and we wanted an engineering college to pair with us, and that's how MIT came into being, and it ran and did very well.
Right.
But at that time, Dr. Karad had asked, after you retire, you must join us. And somehow Ramesh Sippi took me and started his school. Then I went to Goenkas, then I went to Narsimhanji. Okay. Last 3 years I am here. Right. So he asked me specifically, because I was a public broadcaster, public service broadcaster. I was not a commercial broadcaster. Okay. And do you know the basic understanding between the commercial broadcasting and the public broadcasting is, I was catering to the citizens, whereas the commercial broadcasters were catering to the consumers.
Okay.
So there is a difference.
Correct.
So I used to keep my program in the center and marketing around, whereas the commercial broadcasters would put the market in the center and programming around. Humko ye chahiye banao. I would say, nahi, ye banaya, ye dikhao, like that. So anyway, so he said, I want to start a channel, and a channel on YouTube with as peace, because he has been advocating world peace, and in fact in this premises only there's a beautiful world peace dome, which he has created. It's a marvel, I would say.
Right.
And then of course he said, let's start a channel where we talk about harmony, we talk about science, we talk about world peace. And then this Vishwa Shanti Darshan channel came into being. So I made it on those lines, and Vishwa Shanti Darshan channel, you will, as I said, I am now creating videos with AI technology. I am using songs, I am using pictures. Of course, I am a writer myself, so I have an advantage on that. What exactly I want, I could get it from it. So that's the channel, and I would request everyone to watch some of the programs, and you will come to know how with limited budget and limited resources, yet you can give a program which is, at least you will have it look, oh, this is this, something like that.
के द्वार खुले धूम हारती आए अर्जुन और दुर्योधन शंख बजे छमछमाए कृष्ण की शरण में पहुँचे लेने नारायणी सेना मुझे ले लो या सेना पर मत लड़ो मानो कहना दुर्योधन मन में मगन सेना का बल देखा नारायणी अंबर छूती मेरी भाग्य रेखा अर्जुन ने शीश झुकाया प्रेम से कान्हा को देखा तुम साथ रहो युद्ध में यही बहुत है सखा.
So that's really great. Now, since we are talking about OTT as well, because nowadays it's very influencing factor. So could you just throw some light on this?
What is OTT? What is the full form of OTT? Can you tell me, Shikha?
So right now, so could you just help me?
No, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not embarrassing you. I'm saying that, like you, lot of students, when they come to me,
right,
and I ask them, sir, OTT pe karna. I said, one second, what is the full form of OTT? And they would start looking at each other.
It's the same thing, whatever we got to hear from each other, we use the same
yes,
term.
But you must know, it's like this, ki jaise aapka naam Shikha hai, you must know what is the meaning of your name.
Correct.
Mera naam Mukesh hai, I must know what is the meaning of my name. So similarly, OTT means over the top. Over the top means when, see earlier what was happening, when Doordarshan was there was no channel, single Doordarshan, you were getting signals from a antenna.
Right.
Old timers, and sometime picture would not come, then somebody would say, oh, go and shake the antenna, there is some bird sitting, hilao. So after that, the cable started coming. The cable would come up to your place, and then you are watching it. Then what happened? Then after some time, the direct to home came, which means you put a dish on the satellite, south facing, and you get your, your signals. Now, to overcome all this, they said, let's bring over the top, which means signals coming through Wi-Fi.
Okay, okay.
So that over the top started.
Right.
So now with the Wi-Fi, you can today see anything. You don't need any. Now with that reason, the OTT became very important, or rather it became very influential or attractive when 2020, when the COVID was there, when you and I, we were all behind doors, we were not out. So what was happening is, whatever programming was coming, people were watching television or on smart TV on OTT, and that's how the OTT became very popular. And suddenly, also another important thing is, I do not know, this country India makes about 1800 to 2000 good films every year. They are censored, I would say. Now you can show each film in a theatre for a week at the most.
Right.
And how many weeks you have in a year?
52.
So what happens to remaining films?
Right.
Who is going to show them? When will their time come?
Right, right, right.
So OTT also helped there. Immediately films were being released on OTT. Apart from the fact that OTT had no censors, so people were also going ahead with trying to bring films with, as a creator, whatever you want to show, you show. A censor is not there to cut it with the scissors.
Correct, correct.
So OTT is a platform for filmmakers today, where they can always showcase their work, apart from showing it on stream channels like YouTube and others.
Right, right, right.
Today, in fact, if you want, we have 120, we are about 140 crores. You can have 140 crore channels on YouTube. Everyone can have its own channel. But the fact is, how much good you are in storytelling, how much good you are in, you know, communication, how good you are, that all that matters.
Right. So, for all this storytelling or creativity, or even if we think about some confidence or emotional intelligence, what do you think, what kind of challenges students may face in the film and television?
You see, in the film sector, it's not a, you know, you can't call it that it's a single person's you know, work or job. Right now we are sitting here, we have cameraman here sitting, we may have a producer here sitting, we may have somebody looking at the sound. It's a collective thing. If the sound goes, cut, we are finished. The light goes, we are cut.
Right.
So filmmaking is a collective effort. It's a team effort. And how good, of course, every office has a you know, a boss. So this also has a boss known as a director, the captain of the ship. So how good he is able to, you know, take work out of his people and showcase the work what he is looking at, that depends on his ability.
Right.
So if he is doing anything, you know, related to emotional intelligence, because it's a teamwork also, you need that intelligence also while working.
Correct, correct.
Apart from that, it's a very expensive, you know, I would say line, where everything is fine and suddenly suppose you don't come and we all are sitting waiting here, you as an anchor. Now my lights are going burning, my, you know, I have to pay Ata, Bata and Tata to every these people. Who is going to look after all that?
Right.
So planning, you know, execution, all these things are very important on a day-to-day work if you want to make a good film, apart from creating, because sometimes you may create, and it has happened that out of say how much a script if you have written, even if you can achieve 80% out of it, it's a big show. That's why Hitchcock has said filmmaking is nothing but script, script and script. The best script will always be able to deliver if you have worked on a script. Paperwork is important. That's all.
That's the core of the
Core, yeah.
film. Right, right, right. And do you really think in the film sector, the social awareness and cultural values are really important for this?
See, it at the end of the day, somebody is putting money.
Right.
Now, he is more keen that how will I get back my money. So, if I make a film socially something and they say no, I want masala in it. So, the masala will have to come in a different way. Whether it works or not is a different thing. But yes, that all has now gone for a toss, because this used to happen after independence.
Right.
Because at that time, it was nation building.
Yeah.
We were talking about a Raj Kapoor cinema, whose campus we are again sitting here.
Right.
His cinema was again talking about nation building. Or Satyajit Ray's cinema. Most of the Bengali directors, because cinema at that time was, good cinema was coming out from Bengal and Maharashtra.
Okay.
So, all that is now, you know, because of, I would say, cultural divide is totally lost. Everyone is, so most of the students, what I have seen is, they are either inspired by Hollywood or they are inspired by, you know, films which are made abroad by. They don't try and look for stories from their own campus, from their own, you know, own peers or own books or own, you know, novels, wherever they can find good work. I have not seen them. Everyone I talk to the student, their stories. But I have learned one thing from Dr. V. Shantaram, who was my mentor, that you have to give liberty to a filmmaker or a creator. Don't say that make this. Whatever he is making, if you try and help him, if this is how you should go out, but at the end of the day, it is your baby. Whether it works or not, it's your, I can only help you.
Right.
So and every time this happens, when a new society is there, new technology is there, so new stories will come up in a different way.
Correct.
So how much we can embrace them and how much we can understand them is, it depends on the time and the place.
Correct, correct. Ultimately, it's their own creativity and their own.
So we leave it
thinking.
to them. If you accept it, fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, sir, any final message would you like to pass on to our students?
See, what happened is, there is something known as AOL, which is what I call as assurance of learning. Okay. So when a student comes to my university, to my school, I must ensure and assure that he is learning what he has come for. Now, how do I understand that? How will I know that he has really understood or he has learned what I wanted him to learn? Because once he has learned, he goes out and he goes out into a field, he may get a job with some company or he may start on his own, whatever
Right.
it is. In both the cases, cash come into play. Now, what is cash? This is not CASH.
Okay.
This is KASH.
Sure.
Now, what is cash? So, when a student comes, I impart knowledge, K for knowledge. He comes with an attitude. Okay, I see that also. Skills, yes, I need to train him, I need to give him, and habits. Now, these are the 4 things which a student will have once he leaves. So, when he is going out and working, and he is working with a company, and then they may say that your student was good, sir, he knows his job and everything, but his habits are not good. He comes very late, and he boos around and he does this and all that. So, but he delivers, but still those, I am not very happy that I have not been. Everything is fine. Suddenly they say, no, he comes, but he comes with a bag of attitude, sir. He may be from a big family, but here he decided to do this. So why he is not understanding the office decorum, office rules? He has an attitude. I must see that attitude is also taken care of while he is with me. Knowledge and skill I will provide. Sometimes he may have everything, but he may not have the skill. His habits are good, sir, but skill-wise he is less. So my request to any school for that matter is that you give assurance of learning to your students when they go out, and keep this cash in mind. Because this cash will be able to help him and help the industry for which we all are working for.
Right, right.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful thoughts and sharing the cash concept as well. This will really help our students to shape their career. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.